If you're in your consultation as a provider and you hear, does that really work? Can I just try one to see if I like it? That's actually a problem at the phone because they don't trust you, because they don't find you credible, because my receptionist didn't do her job by building the consultation, and she didn't do her job because we didn't train her and call her a concierge and give her a great role and title and responsibility to live up to. Instead, you called her a front desk, told her to be nice, and you're wondering why it's not converting.
My name is Sam Patel, CEO and owner and co-founder of Astroculture, and we have our senior consultant here, Mitch Atkins. I want to start with a simple topic, and that is the patient life cycle. The patient life cycle is really the DNA, the heartbeat, if you will, of your practice on the business side. Very simple. A patient life cycle is from the moment a patient even understands or discovers or finds you, to the moment they come in, to the moment they do services, to the moment they're done, to the moment they come back. It's a whole life cycle. So we have to understand what are each pieces of it, each chapter of the life cycle, and how do we want to perfect it? So let's get to it. The patient life cycle is something that we have to make sure we master on the business side. It's what they don't teach you in med school. So we want to make sure that we are handling the patient life cycle every single moment of the day with poise. So patient life cycle, it starts with step number one. How are patients finding you? Many of you probably are doing the same thing. Google, SEO, perhaps maybe social media, perhaps maybe referrals, word of mouth. Those are all huge. So how are leads coming in? Let's just keep it leads. How are you getting your leads through the door? Now, as we continue the life cycle, once leads are finding you, once they are actually searching for you and saying, hey, I want to maybe shop at this place, or I want to get a service at this place. Mitch, the most important step, which one?
Reception.
Reception. The front desk, the client concierge, the director of first impressions, whatever you deem this person's title, we just call it the call, phone call. We'll put phone call here. Now this is really where the magic happens, the phone call. And this is where we see the most neglect. The phone call is something that they don't teach, and we always underpay this person. And Mitch, you have a vast history in fine dining and hospitality is the heartbeat of many organizations. Is it any different in healthcare?
No.
Not at all?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Actually, coming from a background working in luxury fine dining, then going into medical device, and then, entering into this role of consulting, I personally was shocked at the hospitality. And so a lot of people think hospitality is like, oh, be nice. Mm-hmm. Like, oh yeah, just, hey, when patients call, be nice. It's like, do you think Ritz-Carlton says that?
Right.
What? No, right. It has to be intentional. How do we make the patient feel? Do they feel like we care? Are we guiding them kind of on that life cycle, on that journey? And there's a human being on the other side. And so I think a lot of our providers went into medicine to practice medicine, and they want to help their patients. And for some reason, when we go to cash pay, it kind of becomes this transactional experience when it does not have to at all. And it really starts with having the right mindset, but also having the right structure, especially at that role. And same thing with your communication on your website, right? Does the website communicate that as well?
Right.
But anyways.
Yeah, no, as you can see, it's not just about being nice. It's about engaging with the patient or client and making them feel good. Just like you said, the Ritz-Carlton, the Four Seasons, they make you feel special. And that's what this business is about, making them feel special. Which brings us to number 3, the consultation. We'll put consult. Now the consultation, I don't have to spell consult. The consult is something that many of you deal with every single day. Maybe you're the provider, you're the dentist, you're the physical therapist, you're the injection or the surgeon, whoever your role is, whatever your role is. The consult is where the magic happens, but the consult is actually where a lot of problems happen too, because you weren't taught how to sell. And if you were taught how to sell, you're a black sheep. But for the consultation, that's where we see the most struggle, because consultation is a form of selling. But the word selling makes us feel weird, doesn't it? Because you went to school to teach. You went to school to heal. The word doctor means to teach. And so the consultation is where we see a lot of areas where people struggle, converting them, getting higher tickets, someone coming in for one service and them not wanting the others that you recommend as the expert. How do we overcome the consult? So ask questions about how and what challenges you're having there. I would love to answer them. Because then as we get to the consult, we get to step number 4, which is the exciting part. the actual treatment. The treatment or the service, whatever it is you are rendering. Now this, as I mentioned, is where we have already converted them. And a lot of people go on cruise control here in step number 4. They're like, oh yes, we made the sale. We already made the money, and then they just kind of fade
It's
out.
actually where a lot of hospitality drops off.
Yes, right here. And that's
Yeah.
actually where the hospitality is at its highest.
Yes.
We have to ramp hospitality up because people now have paid you. And now your expectations for them, whew,
Well,
are
we made
all-time high.
promises, and we have to deliver on those promises. And again, make sure that patient is a raving patient, that they're
Yes.
excited, that they want to tell other people.
This is where we're creating raving fans.
yeah,
Right here.
Yeah, you got to have raving patients there. So
Yeah.
make them excited. Yeah.
Absolutely. And if you're having troubles with that area, start asking the questions because we'll come back to that step. That brings us to generally the last step, which most people don't do, re-engagement. So we will write re-engage. And when we talk about re-engagement, that means how are we getting patients to come back? How are we getting them to return, do more treatments, come in for follow-ups, do other things that we are going to be bringing into the practice, introducing new services to them. How do we re-engage them? Because the most valuable patient, Mitch, is a new one or a current one?
Current one.
Absolutely.
They already trust you.
They already trust you. It costs so much more money to get a new patient through the door. It costs you literally nothing to get your current client or patient back. And we neglect and focus so much on step 1, more leads, more leads, more leads. And we
Yeah.
spend tens of thousands of dollars. I mean, Mitch, how many times a week are we dealing with practices spending $10,000 or more on marketing?
Yes.
Very often.
Well, not even just that, but their cost per lead.
Oh,
Right?
right.
I talked to some clinics, their cost per lead is, $27, $35. I talked to a lot of clinics, they don't even know their cost per lead.
Right.
Right? And it's, it's part of running your business, but they have a lot on their plate. They're trying to do accounting, they're trying to do training, they're trying to do treatment. They feel like the whole business is on them, and they're like not even measuring the cost per lead. Now we have our cost per acquisition, which is how many phone calls did we go through?
Right.
So if it's $20 a lead, you go through 10 phone calls, you only convert 1. Acquisition, $180.
Yeah,
So by the
terrible.
time you do your consult and you do your first round of injectables or your first testosterone replacement or your first weight loss,
Yeah. You're barely
not even
breaking-
making money.
Right. You're
So
barely breaking even.
Your hope, so if you don't do this, re-engage, that's tough.
Correct.
Yep. So it really just comes down to really knowing your numbers and understanding that when your patients already love you, they already trust you, a lot easier to re-engage. So really when you think of your leads, you have to look at, there's 2 types of leads. You have people that know you, people that don't know you. People that know you, love, trust, and respect you. People that don't know you, don't trust you. And my receptionist needs to understand that, and they need to know where that lead is coming from, because that changes the whole dynamic of your conversation. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're going to focus a lot, and I know this is a pain point for many of you, and that's totally okay. I want to hear about it because we want to address it as much as we can throughout our time together this morning. So let's summarize very quickly before we start getting to the questions, the patient life cycle. Step 1, how are patients finding you? Google, SEO, search engines, social media, referrals, word of mouth, all of the above. And as those leads come in, which we spend a lot of money to get, how are we converting them? This is your biggest salesperson. Believe it or not, the front desk, phone call receptionist, director of first impressions, this person is debatably, in my opinion, the most important person in your entire business. They are the gatekeeper, because without them, nothing else happens. What are they selling, Mitch? Are they selling services?
Nope.
What are they selling?
Consult.
They're selling the console.
It's the next step.
That is the next step. So many people in this role are taught to try to sell services, give pricing over the phone, and we bypass. We go all the way over from this area and we bypass. And they're trying to sell the treatment and they're not doing it properly because they're not the expert. You are.
Not good.
Not good. So we want to teach the front desk phone call to convert to a consult. They're selling the consult. They're selling time with you as the expert. So we're going to talk a lot about that too. Because as we get through the consult and we figure out how do we sell, how do we package, how do we not just sell Botox, but we sell a transformation? How do we overcome the selling piece and get to services and provide hospitality here? Because providing hospitality here makes this step much easier. They come back. They come back and they will have trust with you and they will want to go through this whole process. Again, they become a lead, which is the most powerful lead, is the one that you've already converted.
They trust you.